if you've got good marketing in place, keeps you visible, and then good PR keeps you trusted.
They might be more expensive, but I'm always going to choose them because I'm loyal, because I trust them, I know them.
Is you've just got to try these things. Yeah. Not everything's going to work. Just try it.
Reviews are key for garages. You can use a big word, but what's the point because no one's going to search it.
This episode is sponsored by BM Catalysts, Europe's leading manufacturer of catalytic converters, DPFs and front pipes, helping to keep vehicles running cleaner and greener. Welcome back to Garage Talk Unwrapped, the podcast with me, Vicky.
And me, Ben.
Hello, Ben.
Hello, Vicky. In this episode, we have chaos, madness and mayhem. Sorry, I meant we have Cheryl Dean.
There's only two of them.
Yeah. We have Cheryl Dean, Senior PR and Influencer Account Manager, and Annie Sutton, Digital Marketing Manager from Impression. And they did make an impression.
Oh, yes. This is the longest podcast we recorded. It was, I think, 1 hour and 8 minutes by the end, which I managed to get it down. Still holding all the gems that we spoke about, but there were a lot of tangents we went off on.
Yeah, it's a surprise if anybody's met these two.
I couldn't remember all of the stuff we spoke about, to be fair, until I went through it again. We recorded it just before Christmas.
Yeah.
So it was just after the winter conference and everything. Yeah, there were some stories told, but these two who know so much about digital marketing and PR, obviously, who help out a lot of clients. We work very closely with them at events and things like that.
Yeah, it was interesting to see why they're called the Chaos Twins and what that brings to marketing, because you need to be creative, but I think surely there's a limit somewhere.
No, it's their energy.
Okay, yeah.
And I love, they say that they don't bring the chaos
comes to them. Nah, they take it. Definitely take it. Fair of them.
But anyway, here is a much cut down version of our chat with Cheryl and Annie.
The podcast that we've all been looking forward to. I don't know how to introduce these two. It's absolute chaos already.
Are you known worldwide as the Chaos Twins, or is that kind of...
I would say so. It started off as a joke.
It's no joke now.
Yeah. Do you know what I will say? Which is what we tell everybody. We don't bring the chaos. The chaos just follows for some reason.
It's so true.
Honestly, we've had someone tell us, I didn't realise what you meant.
Yes,
and then he spent time with us and said, you two bring
I believe
the chaos.
you now, yeah.
Well, without further ado, you probably already know who's on this podcast. It's Cheryl and Annie from Impression.
Who else wooed then? Was that you? Was it just you wooed yourself?
I was kind of waiting for you, Vicky, to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I can...
We've kind of got a script for this, but I just think it's just going to go out the window.
I'm going to I love my questions. I'm going to stick with
your questions are brilliant.
Cheryl asked me for questions for like 4 weeks in a row, so we're going to go through the questions.
So,
I was like, I need to know what I'm talking about. Sound like I know what I'm talking about.
So the base of the podcast is on PR and marketing. It's one of the biggest areas of the industry that we need to do and improve. And who better to have in than two experts from Impression who have done fantastic jobs for many, many businesses. But first, let's find out about the people behind the chaos.
Whoa. Do you want to go?
Annie, alphabetical order.
I'll go first. I'm Annie and I am Digital Marketing Manager. So I've been in marketing for my whole career, basically, but in the automotive aftermarket for just about 2.5 years now. I've been at Impression.
Yes, I'm Cheryl and I am Senior PR and Influencer Account Manager. It's a mouthful for that one. I've been at Impression for 5 years actually now. Well, as Mark likes to say, 4 years and 2 months because I have maternity leave. I know, right? But yeah, and we are Impression. So Impression was started 13 years ago, I want to say.
13 years
by Mark Field, or Mr. Aftermarket as we call him. And we specialised in the aftermarket, as Annie said, and just help businesses with their PR and digital marketing. Yeah. And anything else, events, whatever.
I guess, Finn, that's my part over now, so over to you, ladies. Vicky.
Yeah, we don't need you here.
See you later.
It's all right, there is biscuits here, so I'll just eat them.
For the people who don't know what PR is, because it is kind of one of those terms that's bandied about and people are like,
no one knows.
Can you explain PR in 7 words or less?
I've just shoved 7 words together for this. I would say it's about raising your profile, your reputation and brand awareness through storytelling which I feel like no one will understand what PR is after that either.
I wasn't even counting. Is that 7 wrong?
I can't count.
Well done, I like it.
Smashed it.
Do you think the storytelling part gets lost?
Yes, I do. I definitely agree with that. I just think we always have this conversation whether is PR a form of marketing or is it the same thing? And I think it's a form of marketing. I think marketing, in my opinion, is the overall, and there's lots of different strands. And I think you need all of those elements. You can't just do one without the other. You can't just have your social media. You can't just do some PR, you know, in the trade magazines or, you know, your local newspaper. You can't just do email marketing. You need to do all of these different things. But yeah, I think PR is the one that no one really knows what, you know, when people say, what do you do? And I say I work in PR. But I also say PR and marketing and social media because I think people understand that more than they get that. Like, I don't even think my own mum and dad really understand what PR is. Sometimes my dad's like, is that like sales? I'm like, no. And I tell people all the time, PR doesn't equal sales. It's more about your reputation, isn't it? And then when someone has an issue with their car, your brand or garage is in the front of their mind.
I think traditionally as well, a lot of people link marketing and sales together.
Yeah.
Because that is what people
Like
traditionally would think it is.
But through a PR piece, you shouldn't sell. In my opinion,
I agree with
it should be. I think the story should sell itself.
Yeah,
I think, because
You're very firm on that, Ben.
yes, you have to be because I think the most important part of a PR piece is it needs to be readable.
And I totally agree. And I think we spend our lives, don't we, telling our clients that about, especially on social media, we talk about, we'll probably go into it later, but the emotional versus rational. You know, your rational is your sales and your emotional is your people. And what wins? People. Like that's what we care about all the time. You know, when we're even in our personal lives. I mean, when you're scrolling through social media, it's the people stories rather than buy now. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
Post.
Annie, can you explain digital marketing in 7 words or less?
This is impossible.
This is impossible. That's three, guys.
No, I cannot do that, Ben.
So sorry. I've put down right message, right people, right moment consistently.
That'll do.
Highlight is consistently. When you're trying to get your message across, your story across, if you're only posting once a week or, I don't know, once a month or whenever you feel like it, your story is not going to be heard. People aren't going to see it. It's not going to reach your audience because you're not consistently getting your message out.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I think you're right. I think if you're going to do it once a week, do it once a week. If you're going to do it twice a week, do it twice a week.
Yeah.
Do you think that people take themselves too seriously on the digital marketing side of things? Do you think that people need to lighten up? The corporate word doesn't... It's not as powerful, is it?
Yeah, I would say so. Nowadays, I feel like there's 50-50 though, because there are some people who do understand social media and they do understand their audiences, but especially with the corporate side of things, they have so many brand guidelines, they have so many rules that they have to follow that, it can just become like a mundane task, like, we need to get something out. Because it's part of like a checkbox.
I sometimes feel with our clients, we have both sides, the more corporates and the independents. And I feel like the corporates are kind of coming round to it.
Yeah.
But I do think it's hard, like you say, you know, they have brand guidelines, they can't. And, you know, the central team say.
Yeah, and I think like different platforms like TikTok, where you can't have a strategy per se, are letting these corporate companies kind of be flexible on their brand guidelines and what content they are getting out there.
I think some of them are still very cautious about being on TikTok though. Because they're like, that's not professional.
It's a
we shouldn't be on
place.
there.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's going to come in the future.
Yeah.
We always think, you know, the amount of clients who say to us, what about TikTok? What should we do? And I think the only thing we say is it's content heavy, so you have to have your content. So I think it is that.
If you can commit to it, it would be great.
Consistency.
We have outtakes, we have parts of videos. We have so it's not, you don't always have to think about creating TikTok content. Sometimes it's there naturally.
A lot of ours is repurposing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we call it I call it the evergreen content.
Yeah.
So it's the stuff that you can always rely on to have content. You can always fall back on it.
I've never been in and seen anybody buy a car part because a manufacturer's got 3 factories, 900 staff. And I think that needs to be forgotten about on social. Nobody's going to buy in that. It's about what the product can do for the client. And I think that's perhaps a bigger part is that storytelling of what that part can do.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. And, you know, our big thing at Impression is storytelling. That's what we say when we speak to clients, you know, new and old, is that we need to tell stories. And I think we struggle sometimes, and I don't know if it's more with the corporates, but like getting those stories out there. And I think what you don't see or they don't see as a story. We see, you know, the calls they have with clients and asking questions, don't we? Like, what's going on? Anything new? And then they'll just drop this little bomb and we're like, what? You do that? Hang on a minute. We need to talk about your sustainability efforts. Why didn't you tell it? You know, you've just bought, a new bit of land to expand your business. I want to know about that. You know, obviously all your new products and whatever is great. But like you say, it's that storytelling. And I do think it's lost. I think you make a really good point.
It's very easy to kind of be very insular and nobody else will care about this, but we want to shout about it amongst ourselves.
Yeah, I've got a great saying of like 6 words that kill every business, but you'll have to wait.
Stay listening. I like that. Stay listening.
Are you tired of chasing car parts over the phone? PartSync connects trade buyers with trusted suppliers in one platform. No calls, no delays, just parts. Get real choice, new, used or genuine OEM. Compare brands, warranty, price and delivery. Suppliers, connect with active trade buyers ready to buy your stock. PartSync, bringing the parts industry together. Book your demo at partsync.co.uk.
Calling all garage owners, technicians and aftermarket professionals. Don't miss the Schaeffler Rep Expert Conference on Thursday 14th of May at the British Motor Museum in Warwickshire. A day packed with insight, innovation and industry inspiration. Hear from top experts in the Garage Forum, including Tim Guidotti, aka The Fleet Guy, Simon Palmy, Tom Cockings, Peter Wilden and Andy Wells, sharing real-world experience and practical ideas you can use in your workshop. Plus, breakfast, lunch, goodie bags and a chance to win great prizes. Secure your ticket today. Link at garagetalkonline.co.uk/news/rep expert. All proceeds to go to Ben, the automotive charity.
Obviously, we want to be reaching independent garages, body shops, independent mechanics, all that kind of stuff. So we want to get from you guys how they can help themselves. So for independent garages and body shops, how can PR and marketing actually help day to day?
I think, you've got to think that there are, 34 million cars on UK roads. There's so many people driving cars. They're out and about in their cars. They don't think much about the cars and the parts inside the car, except then it goes wrong. And they're like, okay, right, I need to take my car, to an independent garage or body shop or wherever. And, you want them to pick you. So I think that your PR marketing can help you find those, because going back to when that light comes on in the car, they need a garage, they're going to, what brand comes to mind? What garage have they seen? Social media, have they seen them in the local newspaper? Have they seen them in the magazines? So I think it brings more customers, the right kind of customers. I think it helps with the recruitment side of things. So you're more likely to get better people working for you if you've marketed yourself really well. Helps with customer loyalty. For myself, there's an independent garage that I always take my car to. My dad's taking his car to, that my family have, and they might be more expensive, but I'm always going to choose them because I'm loyal, because I trust them, I know them. And I think that's what it all brings.
If you've got good marketing in place, keeps you visible, and then good PR keeps you trusted, you need PR and marketing.
I think the difficulty at the moment is there is garages that are using PR and marketing and they're being seen and they're growing.
100%.
And I think the independent garages need to look at that and think, why are they doing it? They must be getting something out of it. And then they can grow, rather than saying, oh, they're doing it, they're in the press again. Yeah. Look at why they're doing it.
Yeah. We always say that. Look at the likes of the lovely Tina Drayson, Sophie Lydon, the tyre lady, Tim Benson. They're always out there, but it's because they're good at PRing themselves. Yeah. That's all it is, and they're consistent and they tell a story and they run their garages like businesses. And I think more people, like you said, Ben, other people moaning about it can do the same. Yeah. You just got to know what to do.
Why do so many garages struggle with PR and digital marketing? We'll go social media stuff.
I would say time is the biggest thing, because the garages, the technicians, they're doing the do. They haven't got the time to invest in social media, digital marketing, PR, and also they don't know necessarily. They don't have the intel on what's a good social post or what's a good story, or what can I say. And what I was going to say about my little quote.
Here she is.
Okay, the 6 words that kill every business is, we've always done it this way.
Oh, such a great quote. Can we just say, and fact.
Oh my God,
it's my favourite Annie quote.
Yeah,
it really
honestly,
is.
and it's the one thing I always come back to, and I always say it.
Mm-hmm.
It's that kind of like a mix of time, tradition, like
done it this
traditionally
way.
always done it this way. It works for us. Why would we want to like step outside of our comfort zone?
Times change. Like,
Well, and
Exactly.
And also, you know, what's that average age of a garage owner? It's like 57. Have I got that right?
Yeah,
I don't know,
it is.
it's something like that.
Okay.
And I remember chatting to like an influencer who's a mechanic and an influencer, and he was like, I spend my time doing my videos. And my dad, who owns the garage, is like, "What are you doing? You need to do this job, this job." And it's just that difference, isn't it? Like we've always done it this way. My dad's done it, handed it down, and that's how he's done it. And you're so right. It is. You've got to take a risk, haven't you? Really.
I think also the Gen Z speaker at the IAAF conference kind of hit the nail on the head there as well, about how accessible it is nowadays to start creating content just on your iPhone.
Yeah.
You literally can just
You don't need anything.
get a quick video, get a quick picture. What am I doing today in the workshop?
Yeah, the same as Annie, the time, the fear of the unknown, you know, and getting it wrong. I think sometimes people would be worried about, we have it with a few of our clients, I'm not sure whether to post this. And we just say, just post it.
The thing about it is, interject there.
Please.
It's trial and error.
Yeah.
It always is
100%.
trial, and that is one thing we always say to our clients: is you've just got to try these things. Not everything's going to work. Just try it, and it might. You never know. It might actually work, and it might be the biggest thing that's
Because also
helped
we
you.
find like there are posts we'll spend loads of time on social. I'm talking, but things we'll spend loads of time on. Think it's great, and then it doesn't work, and you're like, what?
no.
You
never know.
And I do think it is that just. Don't worry about it. Just kind of just go for it.
Because it will kind of disappear and so many
and you
things
can
will
delete
replace
it. You know, which, okay, with a press release in a magazine, you can't. So not on the PR side. I will caveat that. But yeah, I think you can delete a social post.
But what are the three things you'd tell people to do first?
Your website. You need to have a good website. Work on that.
Yeah.
Because you think about where you go for your information. You Google it. So have a good website. Reviews are key for garages, encouraging customers to leave reviews, but making sure that they are positive. You're going to have some bad ones, by the way. Not every review is going to be great. And then like your business profile as well. So think about, your opening hours, all those things people want to know, where you are, opening hours. I literally do it all the time when I want to, I just need to pop to that shop.
Yeah.
What's the, when are they open? So
You're just making it easier for people to deal with.
and that's like what do we always say that like you need to be easy to deal with, and like our lives are so busy. How annoying do you find it? Maybe it's just me, but I find it so annoying if things aren't easy. I just want it to be done and sorted like really
Well,
easy.
our attention span nowadays is so
non-existent.
yeah, we've literally not got one. And I was going to say on that, like social media nowadays, and we're going back to the Gen Z millennial. How Ches research, I know you're young at heart, but how Ches researches is so different to how I find things. So say if I was like, I don't know, looking for the next restaurant or like something like that, I would just go to TikTok. I wouldn't even do like Google.
which I think is
I
wild.
wouldn't do anything.
I would never do that.
But can I say the last 2 trips I've been on, as in travel trips, I've used TikTok.
So I would go to TikTok as a Gen Z person. I usually use social media. I wouldn't necessarily go to Google. I mean, I probably would have used Google back in the day, but
I see like all these adverts now of phones
God,
coming out and you're just talking to your phone
hate
saying,
Siri.
show me something now.
I feel like, I guess that just backs up the point that you need to be across so many things. Like you can't just do things in silo. Like I search on Google and I search TikTok. So if you cover both bases, you covered.
but then counteracting that,
Ben looks
I
at the
would
yellow
say, counteract that. You also like want to make sure that the social media platforms that you are on are servicing you and your business plan.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be on every single one
But-
if it's not helping you.
But YouTube Shorts is vital because that's now kind of the AI overview on Google, isn't it?
You can use a big word, but what's the point because no one's going to search it? Do you know what I mean? Like, what do we always say? Like, how I've always learned to write PR is imagine you're in the pub, you're talking to someone, telling them this story. That's what we have to do. And I think some people could be nervous about writing PR because they think they have to be a good, use all these big words and write a certain way. Sometimes just tell your story. You obviously need someone to fine tune it, which is what we can do. But it is just think about you telling your story like you're telling your mates. Obviously no swear words. Keywords are so important. Think about what people are going to be searching, like MOTs in Telford, brake pads, brands or whatever. It's important across the board, not just in one area. Think about all your marketing mix as you're learning. You study marketing.
7 Ps,
yeah,
isn't
all
it?
that, those things we studied.
So sticking with PR, Cheryl,
Yeah.
what small newsworthy stories do garages often overlook that PR could run with? And we talked about this bit at the beginning, but can you give some more examples?
Just any little story, even if you don't think it's important, just go with it because it really, really is. Whether it's someone winning an award, it could be like a local, community award or an award for being great, a top technician, thinking about those awards. Maybe you've got someone who specialises in a certain area, you've got a technician who specialises in EVs or tyres, shout about those stories. Maybe like a really called heartwarming story that they've saved a local person, anything like that. Let's shout about it. Let's talk about it. Whether the business is adding new services or you've, like I said, expanded, you've bought another building. Let's talk about that, how you're expanding the business because we bought something else. Milestones are always key, anniversaries, new people, celebrating their anniversaries, things like that. We spend our lives telling clients about this, and this is why we talk to them so much, because we need to get those stories out of them. But, we've worked with or know a lovely guy called Simon from Markham's Garage. Shout out Simon. Who we all love. But yeah, we met him probably 18 months ago. We've done some filming with him, some interviews. But his confidence in he's like, oh, do you want to take a photo of that? Is that important? And we're like, yeah, do it. We entered him into the Automechanica IAAF Garage Awards, and he won. And he said to us the other day, didn't he, that since he'd got that award, it's made him realise that he needs to do more stuff like that. So I think they'd won a community award since then. He's been in the top tech finals. Yeah. These things that he didn't think or know were important, he's done loads of, and it was just so great to talk to him to show him it actually does work. What we're telling people, it does actually work.
And it's nice because off the back of that as well, he's also started posting consistently on social. He's opened a TikTok account. He's
love
can we get some advice from the Chaos Twin?
It's just about extracting those stories from those people who are and straight away whether people are going to, give you the right information and what you can get out of them asking those questions. But I would just say just anything like that, just go with, because, just PR yourself. You've got to be good at PRing yourself. Probably another bit of advice if you're going to write your own press releases is just make sure in the first paragraph it's got your W's, your who, what, when, where, and why, and just it's all of that information in the first paragraph, because like you say, that's going to decide whether you're going to use it or not. If that first paragraph tells you nothing and it's not interesting, you're never going to use it, are you? Because why would you? So and then make it easy to cut and paste. So.
And attach a photo.
Oh, the photos.
Oh, the photos.
Oh, Lord. High res photo, please.
We've had moments.
We've had imagery, yeah.
When quality matters and emissions count, demand precision. BM Catalysts is Europe's leading manufacturer of aftermarket hot-end emissions products. From catalytic converters and OE-level components to expert technical training available on Garage Pro, BM delivers best-in-class manufacturing, rigorous performance, and full compliance. Need parts you can trust? Visit bmcats.com. Partner with BM. Drive profit, exceed expectations.
Hi everyone, Shep
and Sean
from Laser Tools here. You probably know us for our specialist tools.
You know, the ones you use for all those big jobs.
But here's the thing. We do all the everyday tools too. Spanners, sockets, ratchets, you name it, we've got it.
And they're all built to the same high standard as our specialist tools. Oh, and it's our 50th birthday this year, Shep.
Yeah, so we must be doing something right then. To see our full range, head over to lasertools.co.uk.
It all comes down to, I think, in PR and marketing, is that people buy people.
Yes,
and that all just comes down to trust, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Talking about trust, and we did mention this earlier as well, negative reviews. I've always said, because I've done it myself, you're more likely to leave a review if you're really annoyed, if you're really upset, you're really disgruntled, you're unhappy with something. So, I mean, there's an art in getting people to leave positive reviews anyway, which we mentioned before. But how should garages handle negative reviews?
I think the most important thing is to not panic. I think see it as a way of you showing your knowledge and kind of creating that trust with new customers. 45% of UK customers trust businesses who have actually responded to negative reviews. But I think the main thing is not to panic. And I would say to go back with a calm, collected response. Yeah. Not to say a really negative review came through and you as a person are quite hot-headed, or like you'd be really offended by that. We're not looking at anyone in particular.
Put it to bed for those out there.
I think sometimes it's better to take a minute, maybe take a day, and then get back to it in a calm manner.
Yeah, I agree.
I think as well, another big thing would be to, if the review is on take the conversation. Sorry, if the review's on social media, on a social post, take the conversation offline. So just send it, nice, we've DM'd you, let's speak there, because I think you can just get, sometimes we talk about keyboard warriors, don't we? You only, like you say, we only post a bad review because you want a response from that company. So you're going to write on their Instagram, useless, but just take calm, like Annie said, just take it offline. And I think just being understanding, because it's really easy to be like, no, that's not what happened, and get into that argument. But I don't think that's, when you're annoyed about something, the last thing you want is someone to just battle you. You just want them to go, I understand your frustration. Had it the other day because I ordered something and there was a part wrong, whatever, and the person on customer services was just really like that. So like, I totally understand how frustrating it is for you. I'm really sorry and straight away my attitude changed.
It just brings that little
It does.
down.
It really does. And I think that's important. But also I think as well that some of those, don't be afraid of those bad reviews, because they could also highlight maybe something.
Areas for improvement.
Yeah, areas for improvement. Like, do we need to improve how we, communicate with our customers? Do we need to improve this side of the business? So I think definitely don't be afraid of them.
Cheryl,
yes.
What's one thing every garage should stop doing immediately?
It's stop not doing your marketing and PR and social media. I think stop hiding, thinking people will just find us, people will just come to us.
Stop hiding.
The world is, a busy, fast-paced digital place. You need to be in it to win it. I don't know if that's a phrase, but do you know what I mean? You have to be in the game.
Don't be a secret success.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's true.
We're all personally the worst at PR in ourselves, but this is why we say it at work. We say we do it for everybody else, but the last person you do is for yourself. And the lovely Hayley Evans, who used to work for Impression, shout out Hayley. She used to say to everyone, put a folder in your emails of big yourself up, and when you have this like little win, a little success, put it in that folder to remind yourself. And I think that's really key. I really think you need to celebrate your own successes and just don't hide from it, because the world, like Annie says, don't do things the same way. The world is changing, you have to be involved with it.
There's so much negativity in this world as well.
So what is an easy win the garage can implement this week?
Very easy. Get your phone, film a 30-second video explaining what your garage does, where your garage is, services, etc. Go for it. That's it. Sure, you've got to do.
That's all you got to do this week.
That's it.
One thing.
I got an easy one on that one.
Go on then.
If you've got a video, send it to the press, because we don't have to create the content.
True.
And you spend money, whether it's time or money, you spend money on videos. Why use it once?
Yeah, and I totally repurpose. We always say that.
There's 3 easy wins.
Repurpose it, because also like short form videos are being like introduced in every platform now. So you've got like Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, you've got TikTok, obviously, YouTube Short. It's everywhere, every social platform.
MySpace still around? Has anybody heard of MySpace?
Fanny, no MySpace.
I've heard of this thing. I've actually heard of this thing called MySpace.
Have you heard of Bebo?
I was about to say Bebo.
We know my time was MSN. I was an MSN like this.
Weren't.
I was.
She's old school. She's old
I'd be on my laptop after school.
Talking to all the old people.
We didn't have laptops.
Laptops. Yeah, we did them.
On my laptop.
So that's 3 massive wins within 2 minutes people can do.
Where is PR and digital marketing for workshops heading in 2025 and beyond?
Why the dance?
I love the dance.
Authenticity wins.
Authenticity.
Is that your answer?
Sorry.
It is actually an answer.
Authentic.
Do you want to say prom?
We want to see the people. We always want to see the people, staff, what they're doing. Like the silly little videos. I know we've been joking about it in this pod, but that is what people like. People selling, like buying to people, and it builds the trust, doesn't it?
Yeah, I always think about use examples of like Currys and Marks and Spencers, you know, there.
Oh God, yeah.
I loved the Marks and Spencers, Mark Wright and Spencer Matthews campaign, and then everyone else got on board. Matt Allen did it with Matt and Alan, and it's those. It's silly content. It's what do you call it? EGC, employer generated content, but it works. You know that. Have you seen? I follow this great. I think it's called Bricking It on Instagram, and it's a load of builders on site, and they are hilarious. And they just like do funny little videos, but it just shows the people behind it. And
it's like I don't know if you guys have listened to it. Ryanair I don't know if you've seen their socials either. They did a podcast, and it was the manager of the social team, and he broke it down. He was like, we have a reactive team and we have a proactive team. So the proactive team obviously are doing the everyday, like consistent social posts that go out, and then you've got the reactive team who are constantly on their phones looking at trends, stuff like that, reacting to things. And I don't know if you've seen, I mean, it was more so on like Twitter or X that they did it, and it was
Twitter,
just
I
know. We've told you.
Formally doing it. But they would like respond to like funny, people would say like
complaints.
They'd take a picture of like the window, and it would be like tiny, and be like, well, I booked a window seat. And then Ryanair would like go back with something really witty or funny.
It's like Aldi does that.
Aldi does it.
It's
and
great.
like more businesses are like hopping on like this because like.
But I think that leads back to that whole corporate that, you know, Aldi, Ryanair, big corporates, but they can actually have fun and people remember it. We're talking about it now. Yeah, be authentic, be yourselves.
And that kind of falls into the let's scrap templates, let's scrap logos. And I know that's going to be quite controversial.
I know.
But scrap
She said it.
I'm saying it. I'll say it with my chest.
And I'm on the PR side, keep the logo.
And he's dying on that.
So guys.
I think I'd also say just a couple of things to add to that is don't be afraid of the future as well, because you've got to think EV, you've got to think AI. And it's about how you train your technicians on EV, because it's coming, you can't deny that. You know, think about AI and how you can use it in the best way for yourselves. And also another one thought to bring up is just influencers or influencer marketing and how you could potentially use that. And I think there's potentially two sides to it. You could become an influencer yourself, which is probably very hard in your garage. But, you know, like the lovely Baz Meredith, who is a great content creator, and he just works so hard because he's working on jobs all day, and he always finds time to create this great content and put it out there. And he works for an independent garage, and obviously he's PR in the garage, isn't he, by doing what he does. But you could also, on the flip side of that, use influencers to yourself. You know, think about those like consumer influencers, the likes of it's called Dad Cars 88, and he does a lot of car reviews and sort of how to change, you know, tyres, maybe things like that. But you could invite a local influencer that you know of to your garage to then get that review, get that positive review, positive experience, and they talk about it on their socials. So again, not being afraid of things like influencers.
Thinking outside the box.
Yeah, just think of those extra things you could do.
And if you can get the buy-in from the influencer, it makes your PR job a lot easier, doesn't it? Because they'll comment, they'll make comments for you.
They'll like, and I think as well, more with influencers. I mean, influencers is a whole other podcast, I reckon you could talk about. But I think with influencers, I think nowadays it is becoming more authentic. You know, Baz's big thing is authenticity, and he will only work with people or brands that he believes in. Because you know it's important to his audience. So I think people are becoming more aware of that. And back in the day, you know, hashtag ad, hashtag spawn. It's not like that anymore because people are more honest. So I think, like you say, if you can get a influencer to you know big up your garage, all helps.
Okay, well I think it certainly was chaos.
We've been talking for an hour and 8 minutes.
So sorry. Sorry, Mark, we're going to get back to work.
What the longest podcast we've done, but it's probably enjoyable.
I think it is.
Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you so much.
For having us.
Yeah, I hope you can actually use it.
Yeah, I hope there's some interesting things in there. No,
and give us a call.
Cool impression on.
If you want some chaos.
Thank you, amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a cut down version, that was. But from what I remember.
There's about a 2-minute outtake coming. I managed to cut that down to 2 minutes. A lot of laughs were had. And we forgot to take any pictures with them.
I know.
Normally we take pictures with our guests.
Poor content creators that we all are.
Oh, we were too distracted.
It's, I mean, who would want to work with them? which manufacturers wouldn't want to work with them too, and just the creativity flowing through them. And the thing that amazes me about the pair of them is they got this creativity as mad as a box of frogs, but they've got a plan.
Oh yeah,
And there's a
they're
reason.
doing it professionally.
They are. It's an incredible partnership.
Yeah, the Impression are a great team overall.
We'll have to get them all around the microphone soon together. We hope garages learn a lot, which obviously is the key, because the garages need to market themselves.
Absolutely. Yeah, some good tips in there.
So that's all for this episode. A huge thank you to Cheryl and Annie. You can find out more about what they do at impressionuk.co.uk.
And of course, another thank you to BM Catalyst for being this episode's sponsor, the UK and Europe's leading manufacturer of catalytic converters, DPFs and front pipes. You can find out more at bmcats.com.
And finally, thank you so much to you for listening. If you enjoyed today's conversation, don't forget to follow Garage Talk on your favourite podcast platform. Hit the bell so you never miss an episode. Listen to the radio station by enabling your Alexa, saying, Alexa, enable Garage Talk Radio. And after that, just say, play Garage Talk Radio. And also, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Anything else, Ben?
That's
also, our radio shows are on Mixcloud if you like listening to things on demand.
I forgot that.
But yes, thank you so much for listening. Next time we have Prashant Chopra from AutoGem talking about TPMS and their under pressure competition.
Amazing.
Until then.
Bye.
Bye.